one of the big reasons why it can go to $650 plus per share. Guys, I got an excellent clip for you guys. This is, of course, showcasing that NIO has defeated and absolutely killed the competition when it comes to autonomous driving. This is a first, all right? This is actually a first for NIO. I'll highlight the significance of this in a bit, but also check these clips out. The Envo L90 is up and running, all right? There's lots of these cars available, and holy moly macaroni, they've produced a surplus supply of these cars ready for delivery, ready to go. They're not going to make the same mistake that they had with ET5, which was launch the car but not have the cars available. NIO actually recently just produced the 800,000th vehicle, and it was, of course, an Envo L90, and they got these cars ready to go, man. They're ready to go. So we're locked and loaded, man. We're ready for deliveries very, very soon. In about next week, we could see the first deliveries of the Envo L90 kick in, actually. So that's very, very, very bullish news. Holy crap. And of course, NIO actually has a sort of a new sales strategy. And, well, they've been doing this for a while, but it is, of course, going to high-end neighborhoods and then having their car there, also having, these little test drive gifts, whatever, and that kind of stuff, and basically incentivizing people to test drive the car, to understand the car more. And they have dedicated people that their job is to go to these high-end apartments to, let people know about the car, get people to test drive the car, which is very, very interesting. And of course, the high-end neighborhoods is where you want your target customers to come from. So this is very, very nice. Now let's jump into the video. And this is, of course, D-Car testing autonomous driving. And what's really unique about this, you'll see in a moment, it's a situation where you're following this other car, and then all of a sudden the car in front of you moves away, and there's a stationary car in front of the car that moves away. Now, normally you'd think, oh yeah, the car is just going to dodge, but they've added another twist to this, and that is they're going to have a couple of cars on the left lane, so you can't actually just dodge, right? You got to react to it in a different way. So take a look at this clip. Absolutely amazing.
The car ahead vanished at high speed. On the real highway, a large vehicle blocks the view ahead. It suddenly appears you, with driving assist, stay in the slow lane. The fast lane has a long line of cars. How will driving assist choose? Future AS6 world model version can maintain distance, avoiding accidents. Wow, it slowed down early at high speed. Very decisive, then it appeared. Really good. This is the right way to handle it. Increase distance from the car ahead when Jier's dad boldly faces the challenge. Cuts out. At least one ambulance comes through when Jier M7 also wants to merge. Hesitant to brake. A high-speed collision occurred when GM9 should be worth its price. Can the new Ideal L6 defend its top-tier driving assist status? Cuts out the whole time. Can R7 at least reclaim one city?
Wow, everybody failed this competition except NIO. This test, all right, except NIO's ES6. And this is all thanks to the NWM NIO World Model, which is sort of, it finally did its job, right? The NWM predicts what the world will look like in a couple seconds later based on the existing information using AI, all right? Key point, AI, all right? So, and it's able to know, hey, we're not supposed to turn left because the cars are coming. Can't go to the right lane because that's an emergency lane, and not too good to go there. And then it's important to to apply brakes on the car. So very, very interesting. I'm pretty surprised that NIO was the one that's able to beat this. And I'm surprised by this because if you understand the state of the autonomous driving tiers here in China, people place Ito at the top of the list with Huawei's autonomous driving solution. Okay, they see Huawei as the top dog, basically. So the fact that Huawei's Ito and Stellato did not pass this is pretty shocking. Okay, and NIO hasn't had the best reputation when it comes to autonomous driving. They have great reputation in terms of quality, in terms of customer support, but when it comes to autonomous driving, people don't really jump to NIO and say NIO's the best. Okay, and that's just the way it is. So the fact that they're able to show themselves to become better in autonomous driving is a big step forward. Okay, and keep in mind this is of course using NIO's NX9031 chip, all right, and using NIO's own AI world model NWM, and this really raises the question. These other guys using NVIDIA chips, is it time for them to switch to potentially a NIO chip? Is it time for them to abandon their own autonomous driving software in place for NIO's NWM system? All right, should they license NIO's chip and should they license NWM? This puts a compelling case that they absolutely should do that. Okay? And another thing, which is very interesting, there has been supply constraints with the Thor chip, NVIDIA Thor chip. So that really messed up the Li Auto i8 apparently. Li Auto i8 was supposed to come out late last year, but then the Thor chip kept on getting delayed. And that even right now, it's kind of getting delayed. So they have like a weak version of it. And that apparently really affects Li Auto's autonomous driving solution. And you're not able to, offer the amount of capabilities that you're supposed to be offering. So it's a very interesting situation. They're bottlenecked. These guys, the competitors, they're bottlenecked because they're not using their own chips, or in this case, Li Auto, they haven't successfully made their own chips. Whereas NIO has their own chips and it's fully available. It's in the cars with their NWM AI world model software in the cars, like proving themselves for the first time ever. I remember when NWM just launched, and I'll be honest, I was hyping this up and I said it was going to change everything. And when it just came out, it wasn't like, fully polished. It wasn't the best. All right, there were some glitches here and there, especially when you had like lots of parked cars on the side of the road. Apparently, I think the system is kind of predicting, oh, maybe one car could drive out. Maybe that car could drive out. Maybe the system's predicting too many different scenarios, so it's a little bit glitchy. But now it seems like everything's patched up, everything's more smooth. And yeah, that one test just shows that, NIO is stepping forward, all right? Finally, with their own tech, being ahead of the game, not relying on guys like NVIDIA, all right? And they're able to showcase themselves. And this presents a great opportunity, I think, in the future. People in the industry, a lot of people have signed up to adopt battery swap, even though we haven't seen those cars available yet. But I think very soon, this is a compelling case for people to adopt NIO's chips, to adopt NIO's autonomous driving software, and in essence, NIO can also become a chip licensing company. This is one of the big reasons why I think NIO could reach $1 trillion market cap, why it can go to $650 plus per share. And that is, of course, selling chips. Right, licensing out their chips. So it is what it is. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.